What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Scooch Podcast, episode 34?
500.
500. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! And here with me, my loyal, my faithful, my beautiful co-host.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hey, everybody.
Is it comfortable in there?
For right now.
Does it get itchy in
there? Gets a little rough in some spots. I can't remember the daggum dialogue now.
Do you get shaved? Pretty bad.
Okay, I know that one. I know it wasn't that one in the movie.
Do your balls get itchy?
Nah.
No? Ever? That's kind of weird. Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm unmasked. The secret's out. I'm public enemy number 1 now.
Okay, if you... there's going to be full spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the movie, we would suggest you click off now and go watch it. But
how does Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire do it? It gets hot in there.
It's CG.
It's a little hard to breathe.
I'm just kidding. It's not CG. I'm not sure some.
Man.
I'm sure some scenes are. The suit is CG'd on, but I think for the most part they. Well, especially the Iron suit, the Iron Spider suit. I'm pretty sure there's like
that was CG. That was CG.
No kind of practical suit.
Obviously.
Behind it. Yeah. Has that suit come out before with the little spider legs emitting from the back, or is that like a brand new suit? Because I haven't seen in that fight scene with Doc Ock initially. You remember he had the spider arms.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a new addition to the suit, or
you saw Infinity War, didn't you?
A long time ago.
That's when it was first introduced.
Oh. That
was when it was first introduced. I mean, it was first introduced at the end of Homecoming, but that feature never really showed up until Infinity War.
Yeah, it's just been a while since I've seen those. And was like the suit always like you could turn it on and off through nanotechnology, like the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
I mean, not from Homecoming, obviously, but
I'm trying to.
Ever since he met Iron Man. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was nanotech when he first got in Infinity War. Yeah.
We're like definitely stalling because really, truthfully, there's so much to say about this film.
No, where do you want to start?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've already done my review.
Yeah.
Mainly for you.
Yeah, that's true. Get my voice out there about it. I'll start with the theater experience. I think my last
I think you've already said this, but just in case you didn't, heavy spoilers ahead.
Oh, I said it.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you did or not.
I mean, it was leading up to a joke, but I did mean it too. So
you may have said it when I was removing that mask and I didn't have my headphones on. I don't know.
Oh, maybe so. Well,
anyways, continue.
I'll reiterate. If you haven't seen No Way Home from this point forward, it's going to be full-blown spoilers. We're not going to hold back. We're not going to keep anything secret. We're just going to have a full open dialogue about the
movie's
film.
Been out for been out for over a week now, so
yeah. So, but I mean, if you haven't
been spoiled,
I mean, yeah, that is true. I had to go ahead and watch it. because I just knew what was going to happen eventually, and it kind of did a little bit. I think it was actually Scooter initially. It was either Scooter or my brother. Had kind of like confirmed that, you know, all three Spider-Mans were going to be in it.
I wanted to, as soon as I got finished watching, I wanted to say I told you guys, but I didn't want to spoil it for y'all.
Well, I don't think anyone necessarily disagreed with you, but we were kind of like,
oh, you two did. You two did.
We weren't arguing against it. We're like, don't get your hopes, because, you know, that disappointment can ruin it. You know, theater tickets are not cheap these days, so paying $20 for a disappointment it's a pretty big investment. But yeah,
it depends on where you go.
Yeah, you're right though. You were right. Just about every prediction you had made,
I mean,
was indeed in this movie.
It wasn't really. I mean, it was not like I came up with it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't much. It wasn't like super deep speculation, I guess. But, and you're right. Yeah, it was a lot of hearsay and rumors on the internet, but they turned out to be true, and I'm happy for it. But yeah, this has.
I'll say the one thing I didn't. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I'm gonna go on a bit of a tirade, so I'll just let you finish.
I mean, all I was gonna say was the only thing I didn't. It's not that I didn't predict it, because I did think that maybe they were gonna bring him back or bring him back. Maybe they weren't. It was just a biggest question mark. The biggest question mark I had was Charlie Cox's Daredevil. That was the biggest question mark for me.
Yeah.
And when he showed up, whoo, man, I was smiling like the Joker.
No. No, I'm about to make another dark joke. Stop me now. I was about to make another inappropriate joke. But anyway, I was gonna say this has been my.
Since when have you held back?
I'm on video. So.
Okay.
Yeah, fair point. I don't know. Let's steer this to family friendly. Let's get on YouTube Kids. No.
I don't know about that one now.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I mean, if you really want me to say it, you're gonna say, gosh. But if you really want me to say, not another 2012 Dark Knight Rises incident at the theater.
Wow, dude.
I told you.
Yeah, cut that one out. Dude, wow. That is not where I thought you were going to. Wow. Okay, yeah, cut that. You need to cut that out. I can go ahead and tell you, you're going to have to cut that one out. Holy crap, man.
If I remember. Is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with how sensitive people are nowadays with that topic in hand.
It is a very serious issue.
That is not going to go over well. That is not going to go over well.
It's a very serious issue, but I think enough time has passed with that particular incident, and also it's been concluded that he wasn't trying to be the Joker. There's no Batman ties to it. That was just kind of the journalism
was that what he said?
I mean, yeah, there was no tie. Like, he just did it just because it doesn't matter what movie was playing at the time.
Obviously that, but I didn't even know what his excuse was. I didn't really follow the trial, I guess.
I mean, he's just crazy. He just did it, you know. But a lot of people have speculated, since he had colored hair that wasn't even green colored, that he was like trying to do some anarchist like Joker type stuff. So I was just making a joke to that, but I told you, I'll move on from it.
I mean, but I don't want to
ruffle any feathers.
I honestly until you brought it up, I kind of, with all, like, there's that so many, I don't know. Are you going to keep all this in?
I don't know. We'll see how I feel once I
Because I
edit.
don't, because I
You can
don't
say
know where,
you can say your piece though. You can say your piece.
because I don't know what words can be said and can't be said on YouTube, especially with nowadays.
Well, it's
With
not like
that
we have
kind
any
of
ads or
similar,
anything.
okay, with all the shootings going on nowadays,
Right. Yeah.
that one kind of, I kind of forgot about, as bad as it sounds.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Wow.
yeah a long time ago.
It was
Almost
nearly a
10.
decade ago.
Yeah, almost a decade ago.
Dark Knight Rises was 2012 or 2013.
It's 2012. You just had to say I was smiling like the Joker in the theater.
I didn't. I was not meaning to segue into this. When I like, that's like the first character I can think of that has us that big of a smile. That's why I said it. What were you gonna say before we went on this? I don't even know.
I remember, but literally
Okay.
that what went down at the Dark Knight Rises theater was literally the first thing that popped in my head the second you said that. So, but yeah, I'm trying to remember the last movie I saw in theaters. It's been a while. What was the last movie
For
I
me,
saw?
it was Endgame.
I think for me, it was as long ago as The Force Awakens, I want to say.
You didn't go see Deadpool?
Mm-mm.
Any of the DC movies?
Like,
Batman v Superman, Justice League, Wonder Woman.
excuse me, no.
You didn't see any of the other Star Wars movies?
Mm-mm. No, I watched those all when they came out on digital.
Trying to think of the big movies.
I know, I'm trying to think, but I like as recent as my memory goes, I can only think of The Force Awakens being my last. I definitely do feel like I saw something after the fact, but I'm just gonna say that was my last.
Logan?
Nope. Didn't see that in theater. It's probably some forgettable movie that wasn't like a blockbuster, I want to say. Could have been. But just from my most recent memory, I'm going to go with Force Awakens. Had this movie.
That's a while back.
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, this is, I mean, one of, if not
You
my
didn't see
favorite.
Infinity War in theater?
Yeah, I saw that on, I bought it on Amazon, or rented it. But yeah, this was one of, if not my favorite movie theater experience. They've updated a lot at the theater I go to. It's like comfortable recliner chairs, which are really nice. Like, finally, I go watch a movie in comfort. Like, movie theater seats used to be so bad. And then you would have people who would prop their feet up from, the aisle behind you and all that. And finally, some comfortable seats. So, but that's not the only factor with this theater experience that made it so great. It was just a fun time. I had some obvious problems with the film that we'll get into later, but just like the spectacle when, I mean, I'll go ahead and say it, when all three Spider-Mans are swinging it's crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. Like the whole time I was just saying, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like I never would have thought, in a million years, that would bring all three of these universes together. I mean, I probably would have had some foresight if I was into the comics, but I didn't have like any knowledge. But yeah, I mean, I knew a little bit that there's gonna be like multiverse stuff going on, but I just didn't know to what extent and that they were gonna do it to Spider-Man. Well, I guess Into the Spider-Verse was a pretty big clue as well. But just
That had nothing to do with this, though.
I know, but just introducing that theory of that there's multiple Spider-Mans.
Get the general public knowing about it.
Yeah. And then, like, once you have that idea in your head that there can be multiple Spider-Mans from different universes, you're like, oh, that'd be a pretty sweet way to tie in why there's three different Spider-Man franchises and within 20 years. And that'd be like a nice way to like wrap that all together.
Yeah, and there's talks coming out of this movie that Andrew Garfield is gonna end up being the Spider-Man for the Sony brand, while Tom Holland's gonna be the one for the Marvel, and also there's talks. None of this is confirmed. There's just heavily speculated, rumored. With the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 being an animated movie.
Animated? Huh. I didn't
That's
know
the talks going on right now.
I didn't know about it being animated, but I just knew that they were going forth with like Spider-Man 4 script and starting production on Amazing Spider-Man 3. But
which I'm happy with. I'm happy with both of them.
I mean, I guess I don't know. Tobey Maguire does seem a bit aged in this film, so I guess a animated film would make sense if it was continuing right after the events of 3.
He looked just.
I mean, he looked fine. I mean, he looked 45, but it's like if
he still looks kind of the same as what he did.
Well, he's the same 20 person. Years ago. Yeah, I mean,
like me, he's aged well compared to some other people.
Yeah, I suppose. But if they were to follow the initial Spider-Man 4 script that Raimi had laid out, and it follows the events of 3, then it would make sense that it would be animated and not 45-year-old Tobey Maguire, unless they changed some things and it like the setting was way into the future and it kind of follows like a retired Spider-Man or a Spider-Man
like a Logan style.
Yeah, a Spider-Man struggling with aging, which could be really cool, but who knows what they'll end up doing.
Is Rosemary Harris, is she still alive?
Who?
Rosemary Harris, is that Tobey Maguire's Aunt May.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I haven't heard anything that.
Yeah. I haven't either. I mean, I'm sure if she did die, it would have popped up.
My phone's wanting to be a little slow right now.
Rosemary Harris is still alive and 94 years old. So yeah.
Is she still acting?
I doubt it at 94. Which then again, Betty White is still active. Let's see. What was the most recent thing she was in? 2012 film This Means War. The Von Trapp Family, 2015. So what are you? Do you just want her to reprise her role as Aunt May?
No, I was just curious if like she was still active and still alive. If she was, would she come back, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or would they have to recast her?
I mean,
Or would they do like a Rocky Balboa thing and just kill the character off screen?
or do a No Way Home and kill her on screen.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna touch that one, man. Daggone.
Yep, I went there. So, I don't know. I guess we should get a little bit into the plot of this film. Everybody finds out he's Spider-Man after the events that went down with Mysterio.
Takes place right after Far From Home.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Kind of, chaos ensues. Peter Parker's life, gets out of hand, and he wants. Well, he goes to Doctor Strange to make a spell where everybody forgets that he is Spider-Man, except MJ, except Ned, except his Aunt May, and they kind of fucks with the spell and opens up these other universes that other Spider-Man villains come in. Yes, we see that. It's very cool. But
I'm listening.
Yeah, and I'm talking. But it just doesn't seem like you're listening right now.
You're just running down the plot. I'm listening.
All right, okay, if you're listening, what was the last plot point I left off on?
How they messed up the spell. And I was just about to get to it.
I said the last plot point, not the one I've already said.
when they're bringing in other villains.
Yep. And it's cool to see.
I was just about to say
it's
cool
to see Alfred Molito.
Other villains.
Yeah, it's cool to see Alfred Molito back as Doc Ock, and we have Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn again, and
but she still looks the same.
Who? Willem
Dafoe.
Yeah, he has a knack for looking 50 for 30 years. He's pretty good at it. And I liked how they delve more into that Norman is still a regular guy. It's just the Green Goblin, kind
the
of
Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I liked how they delved more into that. That was kind of not left ambiguous from Spider-Man 1, but kind of not fully explored how as cool as it could have been. They actually took the opportunity to fully explore that interesting dynamic of Jekyll and Hyde behind Norman Osborn. But okay, so from my understanding, so how did they explain it in the movie? Because we all know that those two villains die. So are these villains from a different universe okay, so explain that, because I don't think my head's completely wrapped around why they're still alive, how they've aged at the passage of time alongside Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
They're taking moments before their death. The ones that actually died. Which the only ones that actually died.
Yeah, I get that, but they've canonically,
Doc Ock, and
but not just the actors, but they from the plot they've canonically aged alongside Tobey.
Which one? Who?
I mean, I guess all of them, right? Or the two? No. Okay, so they're trying to play it off that these are the same age people. Okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
That's why they de-aged Alfred Molina.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. He don't look that like that. It's just like he even makes fun of, like, I'm not making fun of the guy, but he even jokes about himself. Like like it's him and Willem Dafoe and Jamie Foxx did a villains panel where they talked about it.
Gotcha.
I honestly thought that they had talked about where Doc Ock would be pulled from, and I think I told you and Darius this both that they were going to pull him off from right as he's going down into the water.
Mm-hmm.
As he's sinking, that's when the portal opens and he goes to the portal and we meet him. That's not what I don't know if that's what they were told or they were just trying to fool us. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't look that old. If he was de-aged in this film, it just looks like he shaved.
No, I mean, they de-aged him. I mean, I don't even know how old he is. I'd venture like 50, late 50s.
No, he wouldn't be in his late 50s. He was like in his
mid 50s or something.
He was like in his early 50s in Spider-Man 2. He's 68.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did they
I guess Tom McGuire is like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Did they de-age any other actors?
No, they didn't de-age Jamie. They may have de-aged Willem a little bit, but I mean, he looks pretty much the same as what he did back in there, back in 2001, 2002.
Andrew Garfield looks just about the same.
Yeah, Andrew looks the same.
Yeah.
And Toby looks the same. For the most part, anyways.
You could see some obvious signs of aging. At least I could.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, when he showed up, I almost threw up. That's how old. I love how when Ned opens the portal, he's not even in a Spider-Man outfit. He's just some guy.
Wait, technically he is. It's underneath his youth pastor shirt, though.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So some things I didn't really like some.
I'm actually curious. What's your negatives?
Well,
I mean, there's only one. I've thought about it.
They're very minor. I don't think they're like super big, but.
Yeah, I mean, because there's like one little nitpick that I'm kind of going back and forth. I don't know how I feel about it now in retrospect, but
well, mine are just. I agree with you. It's a great film.
Pretty much perfect.
Mine are just the obvious, like, like I'm not against fan service or anything like that, but like obvious callback lines, like I'm somewhat of a scientist myself, or even Aunt May saying great power comes great responsibility. Like some of that was really force fed, or like just really forced out of him, and it didn't feel like I guess the dialogue warranted it, but it didn't feel earned and it didn't feel deserved. And I don't like this Aunt May, and she's been like such a high octane energy, like quirky Marvel character this whole time that her death, she dies. Her death didn't really leave me feeling anything. Like I didn't feel anything for that character. I didn't really feel for Peter when it happened, and he wanted to take revenge on the Green Goblin.
I do not.
So that had little impact on me. I know it was a pivotal part of the plot, obviously, especially toward going towards the end. But
I do not agree with you on that one.
It fell kind of flat, man.
They
didn't build up that Aunt May character well enough, I think. I never liked her. She never had likable traits to me. She's not. I get these are different interpretations of these characters, but she's just not Aunt May. Like, I don't like her.
They built her up as both Aunt May and Uncle Ben, because there's speculation that there wasn't an Uncle Ben in the MCU, and I don't know, because there was a bag that Peter used in Far From Home that had Ben's initials on it, but there was no, at the very end of the movie when Peter's at Aunt May's grave, there's no Ben Parker.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I guess that initial reference was more of a nod rather than like an actual inside of this universe or this world. It was more like a.
That was to give him that lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Because he had to learn it. Yeah, he learned it from this movie.
This Spider-Man trilogy is essentially the origin story for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
For this Spider-Man.
Right. I mean, he's been through a lot for origin story to lead up to like an actual Spider-Man, but
I mean, he's lost Tony, he lost May.
Yeah.
He lost MJ and Ned.
Right.
Basically everybody he knows at the end of it.
Oh man, I absolutely love what they did with his character at the very end. And
it's like the first time he was actually the Spider-Man we know.
Yeah, and he applied with great power comes great responsibility, with like not pursuing MJ any further and kind of just being content that she doesn't know him. So I really like that part, because
that, and to keep her safe too.
Yeah, that was the intent behind it. But yeah, because I mean, I get that this Spider-Man is a kid, and of course, with Homecoming he starts, so he's like 16 years old. But he just screws up so much, and I don't know, this iteration of Spider-Man has agitated me for so long, and even in this movie for like the first half of it. But yeah,
he's still a kid. It wasn't until the Aunt May stuff that's when he became that tied into which it may end up being one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie, when he first meets Toby and Andrew, and they just talk about Uncle Ben and Gwen and all that. Those two scenes is when Tom really comes into his own.
Right, exactly. I get that, and I get that he's been a kid for the better, half of this building up of the MCU. It just took a long time. But yeah, in this one, he certainly grew on me, especially knowing what they're gonna do with his character going forward. I'm really gonna like it. Like, it's so cool. But yeah, with all three Spider-Man, their chemistry is so good. It's so fun.
They felt like brothers.
It was a very, very brotherhood. It was so cool to see Spider Brothers, and it was just awesome. Like, everybody in the theater was cheering and glad. It was cool.
And the fact that Andrew and Toby didn't really overshadow Tom either.
Right, exactly. They were all very balanced. They are all funny. They just worked.
Nice.
They played off each other really nicely.
Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Exactly. They didn't steal the show. I mean, they kind of stole the show, but they didn't steal the plot. You know what I mean? So
they were supporting characters.
They helped guide the. Yeah, exactly. But let's see. Apologize, folks. We're all over the place when we're going to talk about this, but get used to it.
I didn't write notes. I
didn't write anything down.
I've seen the movie twice now, and I'm I still remember pretty much everything.
You've seen it twice?
Yeah, because I wanted to watch it again before we did this, just in case I was, like the Suicide Squad. I knew it wasn't going to be that kind of quality. I knew it wasn't that kind of quality, but when I first watched Suicide Squad, I loved it because I had a pretty daggone good experience. And the second time I watched it was like 5-6 months later on HBO. Yeah, it did not age well.
Yeah, Joseph was high and drunk on his initial viewing of Suicide Squad.
Maybe that too.
But it's cool that some of these like there's like some revelations with these Spider-Mans. For example, when MJ's falling and Tom Holland couldn't save her, Andrew Garfield finally, in like a similar scene that with Gwen Stacy, when she died, he finally, saved the girl. So that was cool.
Which I mean, that was another one of fan service, but it was done.
It was done tastefully.
Well,
like this film is loaded to the brim with fan service, but it's done very tastefully. But besides the forced lines, and like
with the forced lines you were talking about, like I'm something of a scientist myself, and the my
like,
back,
like obvious nods. Yeah, the back where you.
What's some others? Those are the first two that come to mind.
Pop his back. They're all sprinkled throughout this movie.
Yeah, I know there's some others, but that's the first two. They were done for the memes. That's all they were done for.
Yeah.
Just like little nods that
you remember. Yeah, I kind of hate when. I get it.
I didn't hate it, but
I get it. Yeah, it's just a little nitpick of mine that kind of, for lack of a better word, cheapened the experience a little bit for me. Not much, mind you, but just a little bit. Yeah, everything else is fantastic. Mwah. I love what they did with this Spider-Man.
Like the only thing this is the one thing I keep going back and forth with. I don't know if I like it, if I don't like it. But the one flaw, might be a flaw, I should say, is, do you think that this movie would be even better or worse if they actually did kill Toby?
Oh, when he got impaled by the Goblin Rider.
Yeah.
Which that was kind of one of those full circle things too. When Toby does a backflip over in the first one, it finally got him.
That's like the one thing I've been struggling with, going back and forth. Like I could make an argument either way.
Well, I definitely want Spider-Man 4 to happen, so nah.
That's one reason why I'm torn.
Yeah, and it was really funny when you saw like.
But I don't know.
Time, space continuum being like ripped open. He's like, "Is that real or am I dying?" I hope he lived. I mean, it's
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive.
Better run him to the hospital once he gets transported back to his universe.
Maybe that.
My biggest problem.
Did you catch any of the Easter eggs about people showing up in the cracks?
At least I don't think I did. Do tell.
I only caught one of them the first time. The second time I knew going into it, like there were a couple more that people had talked about, so I was looking out for them, eyes open, didn't want to blink at, kind of thing.
Right.
The only one I caught the first time was Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, I didn't.
Then there was Rhino, there was Scorpion. People are talking about Black Cat being in there.
Talking about that little like rip and space-time continuum at the end. Oh, okay. Yeah,
in the multiverse. If you want to go back and rewatch it, when it gets to that part, you'll like Kraven the Hunter is like the first one you can see him clearly. It's Kraven. Trying to think. I know Scorpion, Rhino, Black Cat. Um, there were some others I know, but that's the only ones that are coming to mind right now.
I am actually curious to see because I've only seen this once and it wasn't theater, and I've talked about
Mm.
before how the theater can kind of heighten the experience or your perception of the film. So I'm curious to see once this is eventually on streaming platforms how I feel watching it by myself in the comfort of my home. So
Oh,
we'll see.
I'll still love it.
I mean, I'm sure I'll still like it, but like some of those like this is for the theater, like the obvious Christmas stuff because this movie came out, on the holidays, and like
It didn't really get Christmas until the end, though.
I mean, there's obvious Christmas nods even from like the beginning. I can't pinpoint which scene it was, but I was like, they knew this was coming out, or it's Christmas showing.
I don't know about that.
Cause I saw this on the 20. I saw this Christmas Eve. What was the other thing? Like, there's some obvious like theater suited stuff, like the introductions of the Spider-Man is like a clap-worthy moment kind of thing. So I'm just curious to see how that holds up. Just watching it at home.
I'll probably still get goosebumps.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Like
I mean,
I was like 97% sure that they were all three gonna be there, but just like seeing it come to life, like all the speculation we've been having all this year, and it's finally, you finally get to see it before your eyes. It's crazy.
yeah, I wish Darius was here because he could back me up on this one. But it was a lot. Like this year had two, I guess three if you can count Toby and Andrew as separate, but they're in this movie they're together. 2 or 3 big returns, and in my eyes, I don't know about any other kind of thing, but it had Toby and Andrew, Spider-Man, and the CM Punk in AEW. And they were very similar because both of them were heavily rumored, pretty much confirmed, but heavily rumored. And the build up and the excitement just took over, and when they showed up, blew the roof off the place. Like I wish Darius was here because he would definitely understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just can't relate on that level. Because what you just said just means nothing to me.
Oh, I know.
But you said 3 big returns?
Yeah, Toby and Andrew, if you want to count them as separate.
Okay. Gotcha. Which, I mean, I was never crazy about Andrew as Spider-Man. Like, I didn't mind him, but I was never crazy about them. I think Tom Holland was the first time I was vocal about, like, a casting I didn't really care for.
What were we talking about? Yeah, technical issues. We apologize. On my side. This is the repeat of episode 5, ladies and gentlemen.
This is 33. There's no 5 in there.
Oh, there's no 5? Oh, okay. There you go.
It would have been funny if it was 35.
No, save this for episode 35. Do 2 more, then release this one.
No! I'm not doing that. That's gonna be like in January or February if this was 35. I was just saying that I didn't mind Andrew Garfield, but I wasn't crazy about him. But I mean, I was excited for him coming back, obviously, and just that Tom Holland was my least favorite casting for Spider-Man.
I mean, that's what we were talking about. Because I was just about to say that I've said it before that Toby was best Peter Parker, Andrew best Spider-Man, Tom Holland, perfect mix between them. With this movie, I'm now saying that all 3 of them are pretty much perfect in their own right.
Yeah, they're good in their own ways. Because they bring something with each.
So I mean, I
They're all-
rewatched all of them, all the Spider-Man movies from with the exception of the Into the Spider-Verse movie. That's the only one I didn't see before this.
Mhm.
I pretty much I loved mostly all of them.
Mhm.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It sucks.
It-
Just be honest. Well, anyway, did you get
I
that?
don't know.
Did you
There
get
was
the hint with the Miles Morales
yeah, I
thing?
got it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they're referenced. I mean, there's talks about uh in the rumored Amazing Spider-Man 3 that Andrew is going to be looking for Miles along with Tom Hardy's Venom.
But wasn't that yeah, that was like in like Homecoming or something that reference to Miles Morales.
Yeah, he was first referencing. Was he?
So I would think he would. I don't know.
Yeah, he was referenced in one line in
Yeah.
Homecoming, but yeah, his uncle Aaron was in Homecoming as
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Right. So I guess Sony owns the Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess they would have to continue on with Sony on Sony's side.
Which is Into the Spider-Verse part. The second one is coming out next year. So
Yeah. What was that one called?
what?
The sequel is Into the Spider-Verse.
like- Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Oh yeah. They're gonna do a two-parter. That's right. But yeah, I just really like how they handled everything. I think they handled like it felt a lot less bloated than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I remember when they first
And that surprised me, honestly.
when they first announced the runtime, I did not think it was enough time for all the stuff that was in this movie, but it's perfect. It's a perfect runtime.
Yeah.
Not too long, not too short.
Yeah, there was no really any slow moments or like any times that was bored. Like it went by pretty fast.
I will say the first time I watched it, not the second time, but the first time I watched it, it did get a little slow at the beginning, like in between, like going from the act 1 and act 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's when it got a little slow.
Yeah, it does.
Second time it flew by.
It does kind of just turn into a wholly different movie entirely. By the second act, it's like because like when I watched the first act, I was like, all right, where is this going exactly? But I mean, it works, and I guess I have just a little bit of a problem with Strange's character in this movie.
I thought it was good.
So do you think Ned's gonna be the like apprentice, like the next Juan or whatever? Now that he could do that sorcery or knows of it, hey, he could do it.
That's the thing. Does he even still remember that?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I
mean,
mean,
his grandmother said, you know,
yeah, but
that's like passed on. So I would think he would find out eventually. But
I know in the comics he ends up being Hobgoblin.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So that scene where he's like, "I promise, I won't
turn into a supervillain
and try to kill you." Yeah. Huh. I didn't know that.
And I mean, that could be a very interesting dynamic with Peter finding out Ned Ned not remembering anything about Peter. So that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting, but it's kind of samey with the whole Harry Osborn character of it being your best friend and
Yeah,
turning
but
into a villain.
that's different. Harry was on a tour of vengeance because of Peter killing. Supposedly, he thought that Peter killed his father.
Right. And what was the hobgoblin's motivation, or like what led him to the path of evil and wanting to
I mean,
kill?
I only know of Hobgoblin from the Spider-Man the animated series from like the 90s.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say he was. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I know if I am wrong, then someone's going to correct me in the comments. But I want to say that he was some kind of mercenary or something.
Hmm. Okay.
Then again, there's like multiple people who have donned the cowl of Hobgoblin. So I don't know if that was Ned or one of the others. Hobgoblin's not one that I know a lot about, to be honest.
Hmm. And
Can you still hear me fine? Because my levels are a little low.
yeah,
I
I
was a
could
little
hear you.
bit far away.
Yeah, I could hear
But yeah.
you. Yeah, I
And
think
now with
they've.
Venom in the MCU,
Ah, yeah. Post credits.
I'm just really looking forward to the next trilogy with him officially being Spider-Man, no longer.
No
Even though I
ties with
didn't agree
any
with it, I could see
Avengers.
where. Huh?
I was just saying, like, having no ties with Iron Man or the Avengers or anything like that.
I mean, he still has ties with them because there's part
Everybody
of his
forgot
past,
he's.
but
Everybody's forgot he's Spider Man.
yeah, but he still remembers. That's what I
I
mean.
know, but that doesn't matter. There's no more ties. Like,
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
he's just Spider Man.
I, th- I think he'll still be in the Avengers though. Like he'll get back into it somehow.
It's
I
like a
don't know.
reintroduction. Yeah, it's Spider Man again.
It'll. I'm curious to see where they go from here. Definitely.
It's
I'm
very open ended.
really
Yeah,
curious.
it's very open ended. It could go any
Spo-
direction, really.
yeah. Spoiler alert for my most anticipated movie. Movies are next year, 2022. Before this movie, I wasn't really that excited to see Morbius. If anything, this movie makes me real curious to see Morbius, to see how everything ties in. Because of Michael Keaton playing the Vulture
Mm-hmm.
in the MCU, also in Morbius. I don't know what I got, and he's Morbius is referencing Tom Hardy's Venom, who's not really in the MCU. He's in the Sony universe, so I don't know what the crap is going on in Morbius. So I'm really curious to check that one out.
Yeah. I mean, from the trailers, it hasn't really sold me, but
Yeah, from the trailers, it doesn't. I mean, it looks fine. I'm not gonna say it looks bad or anything, but from the trailers, it hadn't sold
it
me
looks
based on the trailers
average.
alone.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's a comic book movie, so I mean, I'm gonna go watch it.
yeah. No, you will. What else you want to say about No Way Home? I think I've said my piece. I think. I mean, obviously, when we get off our recording, I'm gonna remember something, but
I mean, the technical difficulties pretty much ruined all the momentum I was going. I mean,
that's the Scooch magic.
um, if I'm gonna say this, if I end up doing a ranking video of the movies I've seen all year, this is number one. Is by far my favorite movie I've seen all year. Just like I can't really think of like that. Even the Tobey Maguire, as I brought up earlier, how that doesn't bring it down all that much. And if we end up getting a Spider-Man 4, I'll be more okay. I'll be more I'll forget about this whole thing. But if the plan is to not even bring Toby back, if that's not any kind of option, if there's no chance we're gonna get Toby returning, then I do think they should have killed him off, because that would have added more weight to the whole movie.
Well, I guess we'll find out more and more after this release if Toby's like interested in doing more.
I mean, he ain't,
because he couldn't really say anything beforehand to the press before this release.
I don't think he was even interviewed anywhere.
I know. Exactly.
I could be wrong, but Andrew was, because he's still working. Toby hadn't been in a movie since, I think, the Bobby Fischer movie back in like 2000.
Boss Baby.
13, 14.
Boss Baby.
I didn't even know he was in that movie.
He narrates Boss Baby. Maybe 2.
I mean, I've never seen it, so
maybe Boss Baby 2, but I haven't seen Boss Baby 2. So
I haven't seen either one of them, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
The only one I know is oh god, who? I can't even think of the guy's name now.
I want to say
who voices the actual baby?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was somebody else.
Nah. Well, I mean, I want to say Toby's still pretty active. He's not like he's still an A-lister, but he's not like at the forefront of movies.
I wouldn't really call him an A-lister anymore. Well, now with this movie, maybe, but before this, the last big movie he did was Spider-Man 3.
Maybe. I mean, you could probably say Great Gatsby.
That's not on the same level as Spider-Man.
You could say Boss Baby.
Again, it's not on the same level as Spider-Man.
Well, here's
I would give more lenience to Boss Baby than I would Great Gatsby, as far as with it being an animated movie. Is it a DreamWorks or is it the Despicable Me studio?
I think it's DreamWorks. No, Illumination. Yeah.
I knew it was one of them. I knew it wasn't Disney or Pixar.
Here's hoping to Tobey Maguire being in Minions 2. The Rise of Gru.
Okay, I brought that on myself.
What if he is? Okay, that'll be a way bigger movie moment than what we got in No Way Home.
Okay, I'm gonna end the call right now. Internet, go ahead and crap out again.
When you want it to happen, it doesn't happen.
God almighty.
We definitely have to do the Minion 2 review though, when that drops. Yeah. Don't shake your head.
Boy. I haven't even seen any of them.
Any of them? There's only one.
Like I'm counting the Despicable Me in there too.
I've seen 1 and 2.
It's the same universe.
Oh, they said the same thing. Yeah, I still need to see 3, and I still need to see Minions. Why do we bring this up every podcast?
Oh yeah, I did bring it up.
But I mean, I brought up Boss Baby.
Oh yeah.
It built upon itself through our conversation, but it snowballed into Minion. It snowballed into a Minion snowman.
It always goes into the Minions with you.
Merry Christmas, everybody, or should I say Minion Christmas to all.
Even though it's past Christmas.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's better.
Wait, what's the other holiday in December? It's Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa. Yeah, Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa did start yesterday, I think, or today.
I think it was yesterday. I think it was December 26th to the
first
end of the year.
Yeah,
or first, whatever.
But I think I said my piece. Really enjoyable movie. Was such a great return to theater. I'm glad that it made like over $1 billion.
And it's still going.
And still going. Still climbing fast.
Because I'm planning on watching a third time this weekend.
Oh my God, Joseph.
I love the movie.
Yeah, I have my flaws with it. I don't think it's a perfect movie by no means, and it's still not my favorite Spider-Man movie, but it is a great one. I would definitely rank it above Amazing Spider-Man, Homecoming, and Far From Home. Definitely rank it above those. 8 out of 10.
Would you rank it above Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3?
I said the Amazing Spider-Man series 1 and 2.
Yeah, you left out the series part.
No, I said, but Discord probably didn't register it through. It does that sometimes. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and all the, Homecoming, Far From Home. Possibly higher than Spider-Man 3, but I still had to rewatch Spider-Man 3. But from memory, like I've watched it pretty recently, like 2019, Spider-Man 3. I still love it. It's definitely
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely probably my least favorite from the trilogy, but that original trilogy. But 8 out of 10. This is what I give the movie official rating, the official Scoogie. What about you, Joe?
I mean, I've already given my score and my review, but I mean,
if you guys
we're
haven't
talking
seen
about
the JMash review,
yeah, if we're talking about how we would rank it with the other ones, I really need to rewatch Into the Spider-Verse, but I mean, it would. Yeah, I really need to rewatch Into the Spider-Verse, but it would definitely be at least in the top 3. I mean, both of the, like, I would score Spider-Man 2 100%, 10 out of 10. Into the Spider-Verse 100%, 10 out of 10. Same thing with No Way Home. All
Perfect
three of
score.
them are nearly perfect Spider-Man movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I forgot to put Into the Spider-Verse in that. I like Into the Spider-Verse, but I'm just not too crazy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I've only seen it once.
I like it.
I mean,
don't get me wrong. I just like the way people talked about it. It was like the second coming of Jesus. I'm just like, it's a fine Spider-Man story. It's solid,
How many times have you seen it?
2 or 3 times.
I'm about to say, if you've only seen it once, you may have seen it with, those high expectations with people praising it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when it was first announced and the trailer dropped and all that kind of stuff, I was not excited for it at all. I mean,
really?
it was a Spider-Man movie. I was going to go see it, but I wasn't, like No Way Home, Avengers Endgame, like racing to the theater kind of thing.
I mean, it's a great movie, but it is just by no means
which I didn't even see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
Like I watched it on Netflix. That's how I watched it, and it really surprised me.
I wouldn't say it surprised me. I mean, it just kind of met my expectations, I guess, or slightly didn't meet the mark. I mean, it was fine. It's a good movie.
Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah.
All I can say is I am glad I waited till now to wait till that superhero movie, top 50 superhero movie.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah. When does Doctor Strange 2 come out? I want to say
I don't know,
it was in March, but I want to say it got pushed back.
Trailers are already out.
Oh, yeah. That was the post-credit scene. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, it's good. Shows that there's gonna be Venom in this universe.
That was not a strange trailer, but yeah.
Wait, what?
I was talking about the Doctor Strange trailer at the,
Oh, I
the
thought you were
post
talking about
credit.
this movie. I was like, oh, we talked about that. Oh, I haven't seen the trailer. I just know that there is one.
You didn't wait till the end of the credits, did you?
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness is the subtitle. That movie,
Yeah.
the trailer was it was the post credit scene of No Way Home.
Oh, I thought the Eddie Brock Venom scene was the post credit scene.
That's the mid credit.
Oh, well, I'm not up to snuff with these MCU credit scenes, beginning credit scenes. No, I didn't see the Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah.
What was in it?
Never mind then.
What was in it? You could tell me.
I mean, I don't even think you've even seen the show. Have you seen What If?
Nah.
Okay, yeah.
All right. But
basically like an evil Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and Sam Raimi's doing this one.
Yeah, that was introduced in What If.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't touched that. I mean, if it's a TV show, it's pretty safe to say that I probably won't watch it once it first drops. I'll watch it like eventually. But forgot to say, you can rate us now on Spotify. Spotify has a rating, so make sure to rate us 5 stars. That is if you like it. We're not forcing you to. I mean, the Joker over here might be, but not me.
Yeah, nice callback.
Any closing words for episode 33, baby?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy this movie. Let us know what you think of this movie in the comments below.
Exactly. What do you think about this movie?
Where would you rank it with the other Spider-Man movies?
Yeah, make your own ranking list in the comment section down below. And I guess I'll make a poll on Spotify you could put in your favorite Spider-Man movie.
Which that only comes with like 4 options, don't it?
I think you can make more. More than 4.
Like, what's the max?
I have no idea. I haven't tried to push it to its limit. Because usually the options that I have are like 2 or 3 options. I've never no. But I'm sure you could make more. If not, was the worst Spider-Man movie? I don't know. That still applies with that many options. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll try to do Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy for the next episode.
Just waiting on Noah.
Yeah. Just waiting on me, I guess. We'll be back in episode 34, and we hope to see you there too. See ya.
Mash out.
Already in the recording.
Spidey out.
Spider Mash.